Hello peeps, how's it going? Matt Sparks here again. Now I have to start off with another apology. I'm so sorry. Sundays with Sparky is today, which is now Monday with Sparky, because I was a bit busy yesterday. I was working until about 4 o'clock, and then I went over to a friend's for a barbecue because I haven't seen them for a while, and then I didn't get home till late, and it was too late to do anything, so yeah. So that's why there wasn't a Sundays with Sparky yesterday. However, I'm doing one now, so it's pretty much going to have the same thing in it as it would have done yesterday, give or take. So, what else do I need to apologise for? Oh yeah, Bioshock. I'm very sorry about the audio in Bioshock. I think I know what the problem is, and it shouldn't happen again. Fingers crossed. It's just a matter of when I change headsets and stuff over, for some reason, even though I can hear the audio, I think depending on when I start, when I open Fraps for the first time, it all gets confused. So if I, so for example, I've opened Fraps, and then I change my headsets, Fraps won't realise that I've changed my headsets and therefore think that I've unplugged the sound and therefore think that there is no sound. I think that's what happens anyway. I can't guarantee that's what the problem is, but that's what I think is happening. So, oh yeah, so that was a bit of a nightmare because I was just trying for ages to try and find the audio for that gameplay footage, and it just wasn't there because Fraps didn't record it. I have got DxTory on my computer, but that doesn't seem to work, so I was a bit annoyed about spending money on that and it doesn't work. Although I haven't tried it for a while, so maybe they've released an update or something that I haven't checked and it might work fine now, but for the moment I'm just going to continue using Fraps, as I've always used Fraps, and it hasn't really let me down. It's usually my error that's made it go wrong. So I think as long as in future I set everything up properly, that shouldn't happen again. So yeah, so I've been trying to get those videos out of the way because they don't have any audio, and I'd rather just get them done and off to one side so that I can continue to start doing other stuff. So I think I'll probably upload the part 7 of Bioshock today. Again, it won't have any gameplay audio, but then that'll be the last one without gameplay audio. And yeah, and to the rest of the day I'm going to be recording some more of everything else. I've got some Dust to do, and some more Bioshock to do, and some more Game Dev Tycoon, and I've had XCOM requested. I've never played that before. I don't really know much about it, other than that it's a bit buggy, but I've been requested it, so I'll give it a try at least, and we'll try it out. And there's also another game that I want to try out as well, which is currently in beta, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, but I'm not going to say much about that because it might not happen. So that's so they're the games. That's the game stuff. I finally got my car today. My new car. It's not a brand new car. It's new to me. But oh, it's so nice to have a car back again. I've so missed having a car. I feel like I felt like a bit like Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean when he sees them sailing away with their ship, with his ship, I should say. And he's trying to explain to Elizabeth about what a ship is. It's freedom. It's the same with cars, really. You know, it's your little bit of freedom. You can go wherever you want with it. So not having one and being stuck at home. Oh, just wanted to kill myself. No, it wasn't that bad. Nowhere near that bad. So what else have we been doing this week? Spending lots of money on car. and so getting it road tax and stuff for it, and renewing my insurance and all that malarkey, and I bought a ticket for Bloodstock. If you don't know, I was in a band last year and we played at Bloodstock, which was amazing. And this year a friend of mine, his band is playing at Bloodstock, along with bands like Lamb of God and Anthrax and Slayer and Devil Driver and Fozzy and a whole bunch of other bands. And last year the atmosphere was so good. I've been to some of the bigger festivals like the Download Festival and Reading, and not Leeds. I didn't go to the Leeds Festival, but and I genuinely feel that the atmosphere at Bloodstock, because it's a smaller site, smaller festival, that the atmosphere was better. People just seemed nicer. Everyone was there for the same reason, which was to see some awesome bands and have a good time. And although you would think that that's what most people would go to festivals for, it doesn't always seem like that at some of the bigger festivals. You tend to get more a-holes at the bigger festivals. I guess it's just because there's more people there. You're bound to kind of bump into them. But yeah, I had a great time last year, seeing Machine Head and Alice Cooper, to name but a few. That was great. And yeah, and I'm really looking forward to this one, because it's kind of like my little holiday. It's the only real holiday I get. So yeah, so I bought my ticket, and I bought myself a tent, which I need to test out, make sure that it works and all the bits are there. And I've got an inflatable mattress, because guarantee no matter where you put your tent, you're always going to find a rock that gets kind of in the small of your back when you're trying to sleep. So inflatable mattress and a pump was like 15 quid. And I was like, well, it's 15 quid, and if it means that I get a reasonable night's sleep for a weekend, then that's fine. Because there's nothing worse than being at a festival and being so tired that you just can't be bothered, because you miss out on stuff. And I don't really want to miss out on stuff if I can avoid it. So yeah, that's that. I've been working. I worked quite a lot over the weekend, and I'm going to be doing quite a lot of work this week, which is nice because it means I get a bit more money at the end of the month. Although it'll probably be the end of next month, which, yeah. So yeah, Bloodstock's 8th of August to the 11th of August, so there won't be much in the way of uploads around that time. There certainly won't be a Sunday with Sparky, but I am planning on taking this camera with me, and a ton of batteries, and I'll hopefully do some vloggy type bits and pieces while I'm there. I'm going to take a camera and take some photos and stuff as well, and hopefully make a video of it all when I get back, which will be quite cool, hopefully. So yeah, that's cool. I've been watching some movies, as you would expect, because what Sundays or Mondays with Sparky would be complete if it didn't have my current movie watching. So last week I had a bit of a Tom Hanks week, when I was just watching Tom Hanks movies. On the Sunday that I recorded that, I watched Saving Private Ryan again, because I love this movie. It's one of my favourite movies ever, I think. And it won 5 Academy Awards, 5 Oscars, and it amazes me because it's 1998, I think. Is it 98? Oh, it says on the front 98. Derp. Yeah. And it's got, well, it's Spielberg for a start, so you know it's probably going to be good if Spielberg's involved. And it's got a fantastic cast, and the special effects are amazing, and it's just really good. As far as war films are concerned, I'd say it's probably the best. I know people will probably say, oh, but Platoon or Apocalypse Now or you know, one of those movies. It's like, well, yeah, they're good, but I think Saving Private Ryan is my favourite. I think Black Hawk Down would probably come a very close second, because that movie's awesome and also has a great cast. So, then after that, I figured it's probably time to change up and not watch another Tom Hanks movie. I could have watched like Forrest Gump or Big, because I love Big, but I have seen that film so many times. But seeing as it was July 4th, I thought I'd watch Independence Day. I don't celebrate it because I'm not American, obviously, and if you're not American, you shouldn't really celebrate it because it just seems a bit pointless. Yes, so Independence Day, and I realised how bad this movie actually is, because I was watching it back and I was like, some of the acting is actually really terrible. Some of it's pretty good, some of it's okay, but yeah, most of it is pretty terrible. But it's Independence Day and it's got that iconic scene where the White House blows up and the Empire State Building, I think it is, and that blows up as well, and like a whole bunch of other things blow up. You know, it's kind of fun. So then I felt a bit like a Will Smith marathon. Not really a marathon, but so I watched I Am Legend and Hancock. Now I was when I was at work the other day. I say the other day, it's a few days ago now. Quite a few days, probably last week or something. Me and a colleague, namely Evo, one of my subscribers and friends of mine, we were playing a thing called 6 Degrees of Separation, or 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, depending on however you want to phrase it, where you can link one person in Hollywood to Kevin Bacon. But the way we were doing it was, you'd name 2 people, and you had to link them in as some short amount of moves, as many, that doesn't matter, what? As small amount of moves as possible. That's what I meant to say. And one of the names that we were trying to link to was Will Smith, and I realised that although he's been in a lot of films, he hasn't been in a lot of films with other famous people, really. I mean, I Am Legend, it's pretty much just him on his own. There's a woman and a little boy towards the end of the film, but the majority of the movie he's just there on his own. Is that playing again? Anyway, so I guess there's Independence Day with Jeff Goldblum, but he's the only one in that movie that I can think of that's like of a quite big name that people would recognise. It is playing again. Doesn't matter. So then there's Hancock with Charlize Theron and Jason Bateman, which I guess you could probably link people to. But like iRobot, there's not that many. Maybe I just haven't seen enough Will Smith movies or something, but I couldn't think of any like any film that had a big cast with lots of big names in. It's usually just Will Smith and maybe 1 or 2 other people. Even with After Earth, it was just him and his son. Virtually the entire movie was just them 2 of them. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, last week I went to see World War Z. Didn't even mention it in my Sundays with Sparky last week. It was okay. It was quite entertaining. It had a jump scare in it that actually made me leave my seat, which was quite funny afterwards. And it was, there was exciting bits, but it wasn't so much about the zombies. It was more about Brad Pitt's character and his relationship with the people that he was around his family and stuff. So it wasn't really a survival, because a lot of zombie films are like survival films where you kind of follow a group of people and see how long they can survive, or who survives, you know. And that's general kind of horror movies in general. This was more about there was an element of that to begin with, but then it became more a case of finding out how to defeat them or how to cure it, kind of how to prevent it, you know. So it became slightly different to a lot of other zombie movies, but it was quite fun. Despicable Me 2, I went to see that on Wednesday, and that was hilarious. And I suggest if you like things that are funny, you should go and see it, because the Minions. I want several Minions because they're just so hilarious, and I don't think you could ever be unhappy if you have the Minions around, because they're so brilliant. They're adorable and funny, and I had the Banana song stuck in my head for about a week before we went to see it. So yeah, so if you've seen the first one, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you should definitely see the first one and then go and see the second one, because it's brilliant. Might be going to see Now You See Me. Maybe this week, possibly. Maybe later today, don't know. Which is the Magicians and the bank robbery thing. And then next week is Pacific Rim, so I'll definitely be going to see that at some point. So yeah, I'm not sure when Wolverine comes out. I think that comes out July, but it might not. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Talked about movies, talked about getting my car, talked about stuff. Oh, that was what I was going to say. It's just a little question, really, and it's not really that important. But I was wondering. See, when I've been playing Borderlands 2, when you first start up Borderlands 2, it says press any key to continue, or something along those lines. For me, I always press spacebar. Always spacebar. I could press any key I want, doesn't matter, but I always press the spacebar. So my question to you is, when you have a situation like that where you have to press any key on the keyboard to continue, which one do you press? Just curious. Are you the same as me and you always press the spacebar, or do you always press something else? Let me know in the comments below. Here. Somewhere. Yeah, 'cause I'm just curious. And follow me on Twitter at Matt. I can't even remember it. I'll put a thing here probably, and there'll just be a link in the description. Just click on the link in the description. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.